Nah, people. You know what it is. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. Where do I even begin? Now, let me begin by the seals being broken. I explained to you and I told you seals was going to be broken. Of course, nobody listened, but that doesn't mean it wasn't broken. Seals are being broken, and that's that. You know there's going to be more jumping off. You have other states where a lot of stuff is going on. The Twin States. You got Minneapolis. All right. You know what? Let me just show you. Because the last time you had anything like this really jumping off, where people finally had enough, was Rodney King. Yeah. It was Rodney King. Rodney King riot was lit. So, you know, when I come on here, it's like, what am I going to talk about? You think, what are you going to talk about? Blah, 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 blah. Because I got to move. I got to be nice with y'all. You know, I can't come out too strong and too sensitive. And I'm not going to be on here long at all, people. I promise you this. Check this out. Let the ad play through. Salute to international audience and the domestic. Check this out.
On the front door area of that building, I do not know that they've gained access to that structure as of yet, but I do know that they were certainly trying to set the building on fire in the front door area.
Well, we're looking at pictures, and we have standby, Chief. We're looking at pictures, and we have Cruiser on the scene, and we're looking at the building on fire. And it says Minneapolis Police Department right on the side of the building. And we have seen people at least going, I think we've seen a few going in and out of parts of the building. Now, I'm not sure how it is gated off and how you protect it, or if it has been protected in this process. But we are looking at pictures now. These were taken moments ago, and then we also have a ground shot of live pictures. The department is on fire.
Yeah, that's very possible. I apologize, Zach. Like I said, I just came from another fire, so I had the advantage of real time. I'm not seeing that, so that if that is the case, then they have made entry into the building.
So the police department is on fire. What did you think was going to happen? Just a question. How long you think you was going to do this? Mind you, let's not forget, this is during the midst of a pandemic. Okay? Do not forget the places that look to open back up have a surge in pandemic cases rising back up with COVID-19. So all these people are out together, not social distancing, of course, rioting, burning down the targets and everything else. And they make sure I watched from since, because I went to bed, had a nap, woke up, and then my mom's was telling me like, yo, it's lit. I'm like, they still trying to get at that third precinct, that third police station, I should say. They still trying to get at it. When I turned on, that crowd was relentless. They was like, all right, we're going to burn something else and come back. They was hitting them with the tear gas. The wind seemed to be on the rioters' side. the wind seems to be on the rioters' side. So they wasn't getting hit with the full effect of that tear gas. But that's what happens. You cannot keep killing people and think it's just going to go on like that. This is a result of those warping entities. You see the face of that damn officer? All the officers, you could tell it's like they demonically possessed. Let me play the rest of this video.
And obviously the building is on fire if you're seeing it. It obviously is.
So even though the personnel are gone, which is a good thing because we don't want any more loss of life here. So the personnel's gone. According to a law enforcement expert we had on earlier, they said most of the files, if not all of them, are electronic, so they will be saved. What about evidence?
That's done.
You know, that being the fire chief, I don't know where. I don't believe that they store a lot of evidence in that structure. I think they have other facilities they do that. I'm probably not the right person to answer that question, but I do know they have other areas in the city and other structures that they store evidence in.
Okay.
I don't know what that timeline is of moving that out of a building to the area where they may store it.
Chief, where is the fire department? Are you planning, or any of your men or women planning to show up on the scene to try to put this fire out? What's happening?
I know we've had multiple fires over the last couple of days, as you folks know. We tried to get into that area, and it was determined at the time by folks on cameras and looking at the scene was untenable. We've had different projectiles throwing at us the last 2 nights. Many of the windows of my Chief's car right now are broken out from rocks. We just had rocks throwing at us again. We left this last scene. So we have to really consider the safety of our firefighters in those.
Now, let me stop sharing the screen. That's why tomorrow I'm making sure I give you Rise of the Mystic Children. Let me tell you something. The amount of protesters you see out there, they're young. You ready for this? They're black and they're white. So-called black and so-called white. These indigo children ain't playing with you. I will repeat, these indigo children ain't playing with you. So you see, if y'all go on my Instagram, go to my Instagram stories. For those who have Instagram, go to the Instagram story and you'll see the little promo thing that I did. How you gonna kill George Floyd the way you did and think it would have been all right? Mind you, all the states are going through it now. New York recently went through it at 14th Street Union Square. Thank God the people in New York, they talk that talk, but that rowdy, they've been calm lately. But that's about to run out. And this ain't nothing new from, I told you so. This ain't nothing new from that time with me saying, I told you so. I told you so. This is what's going to happen. I told you so. And there's more to come. Every state is feeling the backlash of this now. It ain't just Minneapolis. They're turning up everywhere. It's just not Minneapolis. All right? Because they're tired. It's like, what are you doing? Just lift your foot off his neck. And then they got the nerve to turn around and not put those officers in jail yet? Huh? Are you stupid or are you stupid? Which one? Talk about there ain't enough evidence, or you looking for more evidence? Like, What? How much more evidence do you need? And then you expect there not to be protests going on? Let me tell you something. They could try to shut it down all they want off of social media, try to cover it up. They're not going to be able to delete it. Hell, you got Trump wilding out now, coming after Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of them. This stuff, listen, this kingdom is crumbling, people. And it's going to be those same indigo children, those same rainbow children, all right? The same crystal children, the same shadow children, and them same star seed children that I told you about a long time ago. They're the ones that's going to keep posting this stuff on social media. They're the ones that's going out there. Those are the ones that's fighting with the police now. They've been waiting. And not for nothing. Did we forget how long people have been quarantined? They dying for an excuse to come outside and get it lit. Yeah, y'all fired them right away. And y'all better hope their address don't get leaked. Those cops. But you fire them right away. You should have been prosecuting them right away at the same time. But you see, they didn't expect it to get lit like this. I've been paying attention to the signs. That's why I've spoke about the book of Joel. All right? You have children and adults. Don't think that it's just children. If you're indigo, you're indigo, no matter your age. You get what I'm saying? So when I say indigo children, know that that also means you. When I say crystal children, know that also means you. All right? When I say rainbow children, know that that also means you. I don't care if you're 50 years old now or to 100. You're carrying that type of energy, that type of, how you say, life essence. It's a wrap. It's over. Y'all might not like it. Y'all might not like that I'm even telling you the truth right now. But it's over, people. The world is not going to be the same. And it's not, oh man, let me just play this real quick. Says, what's up, man? He says the address was leaked. They had police guarding the guy who had his knee on George's neck. House. Oh, yeah. Should have known that was coming. Thank you for that. There's only so much I could do, people. It's gonna be a wrap. They couldn't even hold on the police station. That was the third one that got burnt up, and they sent in the National Guards. And it's gonna get worse. Trump saying these thugs dishonoring the name of, for they're like, no, Trump. These people are fed up now. And yeah, they shouldn't be burning down the city. But again, what did you expect? There are going to be wars and rumors of wars. You're going to have the parents go against the children and the children go against the parents. You're going to have it where it's split, where the daughter is like, nah, I'm rocking with daddy. We against mommy over here. Take a side, brother, or take a side, sister, because daddy right. And then the son gonna be like, no, mommy is right. And in some cases, in some households now, no, daddy number one is right. No, daddy number two is right. No, mommy number two is right. No, mommy number two is right. That's just the way it is now. You know, the whole LGBT movement. But regardless of what, it's indigos out here. It's rainbows, star seeds, the shadows. It is going to be hectic. And some of y'all are stupid or stupid, whichever one you want to pick. And your children are smarter and more advanced than you. All right. I'm seeing they said evolution in the sky says they say the police burned it down. Listen, I'm gonna tell you straight, don't see that. I watched the footage myself live with the protesters going in. The one that gave the best coverage of that is MSNBC. I watched it. Them protesters was not playing. They get their tear gas. They already had their milk ready to wash out their eyes. They were not playing. They mean that they were going to go and burn down that precinct or precincts. And other states is getting their ass handed to them too. Let me show y'all this, man. Like I said, I ain't trying to be up on here all alone. I'm just giving y'all the facts. Don't shoot the messenger. Watch this video real quick. Of course, let the ad play.
He says, I can't stand back and watch this happen to a great American city, Minneapolis, a total lack of leadership. And then he makes it political. Either the very weak radical left mayor, Jacob Frey, gets together and brings the city under control, or I will send in the National Guard and get the job done.
Now notice, you see, Trump know what the hell he doing. Let me just go back up here. Now let's go. I'm going to go back to that, but check this. St. Paul, police say more than 170 businesses were damaged or looted during protests. Look at that. You know how long people ain't get some good imagery like that? Because they out here thinking it's sweet until they have to eat a mouthful of it. Some people might not like that I said that, but it's the truth. All right? That's in Minnesota. Louisville mayor urges peace as protesters continue. See? This is in Kentucky. They're not playing games out here, man. And there's mad white people out there protesting. Let me say that now. I've watched the image. They out there, listen, they firebombing, they doing everything. Okay? Understandable emotions are high as Brianna's mother says, let's be peaceful as we work towards truth and justice. Truth and justice. Okay. He posted on his Facebook page. Now, he's a EMT worker, all right, that was who was killed during a police raid of her apartment in Louisville. So you see, it's just sparking the stuff back up like, yo, word? See, it's not just the dude that's, had his neck. It's not just George that had his neck basically crushed and have his breathing obstructed. Okay? All these things that you're seeing here is a result of other stuff that's also been going on in the people's city. All right? Simple as that. So let me go back to this right now. This keep updating. Okay, what's the newest update? Looting and destruction is unacceptable. And not for nothing, this mayor, I see how he moving like he all sympathetic. Press 1 if y'all believe that and you trust that. Because if that's the case, those officers should have been in cuffs and in jail already. Looting is unacceptable. And then you got the black police chief in the background. But looting is unacceptable. Them not being behind bars is not acceptable. But what the hell do I know? And recently, I forgot what state it was. It had a chick that was thrown off the balcony, I think second floor, maybe third floor balcony by police officers. I got to get the state. So Daddy Trump saying, yo, this was the tweet they were talking about. Where Daddy Trump was like, yo, I'm going to send in the military to get the stuff under control. National Guards, all that stuff. Mind you, Trump ain't rushing to help him right away. Because he ain't for Trump. He ain't looking out for Trump like that, the mayor of Minneapolis. Trump is a piece of work, y'all.
Right, as we've already said, the National Guard has already been ordered in, and not by the president. This is interesting too, part 2. These thugs, that is a loaded word in the United States, are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz, told him the military is with him. Any difficulty, we will assume control. And then again, an extraordinary line, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. The President of the United States. Brian, your thoughts?
The president is referring to something that Miami's police chief said in 1968 when there were protests at an RNC convention. He said, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That was a threat back then, a statement about getting tough back in 1968, and it is a vile threat tonight. Let us hope that cooler heads prevail, that the president's aides intervene, that he's just acting tough on Twitter like he oftentimes does, and that nothing more will come of it. But if you wondered what the president was going to do in this case, if you wondered if he would show leadership in a volatile moment like this, I think we now have the answer, Michael. We're going to see the president resort to his typical techniques of sowing this kind of chaos and division, as you mentioned, using the word thugs, calling out these protesters. And by the way, the president's been late on this situation all week long, late to react to the video of what happened in Minneapolis, late to react to the protests and the unrest. We are far past the point where the president should be weighing in for the first time on these matters. Clearly, the situation's out of control in parts of Minneapolis. The city of Minneapolis is doing a very bad job communicating with its own residents right now. Of course, under the cover of darkness, we don't know everything that's happening, but it is clear there are fires and looted stores and broken windows and other disturbances in multiple neighborhoods of Minneapolis right now. We'll have to wait until sunrise to get the full picture. Amid all of this, you have to wonder, if you live in Minneapolis right now, do you feel any better seeing the president of the United States talk the way he's talking on Twitter? I'm going to wager no, Michael, but let's see what the residents of Minneapolis say in the morning.
And let me say this. Trump ain't going to be about that life. All right? Minneapolis mayor responds to Trump accusations of weakness. Oh, this ought to be good. See, we getting the updates early. Let's see. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry has responded to President Trump's tweet, which accused Fred earlier tonight of weak leadership. Tweeted Trump. Okay, let me just go to his response. The mayor addressed the president's comments at a press conference tonight. Weakness is refusing to take responsibility for your own actions. Weakness is pointing your finger at somebody else during a time of crisis. Donald Trump knows nothing about the strength of Minneapolis. We are strong as hell. Is this a difficult time period? Yes. But you better be damn sure that we're going to get through this, he said. Now that sounds all cozy, but if you ain't got them in jail, the ones who committed the crime, those 4 officers, nothing really to talk about. Really not. So let's see what you need to know. 2 days after the death of unarmed black man at the hands of a police officer, protesters demonstrated in at least 5 major cities. The unrest followed the shock and anger that poured through communities across the country as video of George Floyd's last moments alive circulated on social media. Mind you, the first person to pull out their phone and started taping this was a 17-year-old girl. Just thought y'all might want to know that. 4 officers involved in the man's death has been fired from Minneapolis Police Department, but Floyd's family say they want murder charges against them. The Indianapolis protesters have set a police precinct building on fire. More than 500 troops from Minneapolis National Guards are heading to Minneapolis and St. Paul. Interesting. That's very interesting. We're going to see what's going to take place since they're heading there. I'm fiending to see this. I might end up staying up all night just to see that. This is what happens, people. And I've been fiending. I ain't going to lie. Oh, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been fiending to hit y'all with this rise of the mystic children. I've been fiending. Okay? Because some of y'all children is going to have that. All right, you know what? Let me just go to the book of Job, so you can get a better understanding. When you start seeing the stuff happening, and some of y'all won't be able to see those spiritual seals, let me give you a quick breakdown. Joel. This is the King James Bible. 2, by the way. Just so you know. Okay. Should I share my screen on this? Yeah. I'll share my screen on this just so y'all can see it yourself. Check this out. It's right there plain as day. Joel 2:28. That's chapter 2, verse 28, people. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. I'm going to read that part again. Let me just read it from the top. And it shall come to pass afterwards, meaning it's coming. It's going to be here. It's here right now. That I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Not some over here, not a little bit over here. All flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. Okay? That ain't me. Check this out. Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Josaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Now, that third verse probably went over everybody's head. So I'll read it again. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. You know how that hit home, especially if you have children? That's why the children ain't playing with you now. That's why they're not trying to be docile. That's talking about taking a boy and pimping out the boy and just trading off the young girl for drinks. Sound like Pizzagate, right? Oh, y'all forgot about Pizzagate? See, the problem y'all don't understand why these indigo children, these crystal children, these rainbow children, these shadow children, and these star seed children is on your ass right now and don't like your ass because y'all been too docile and y'all been letting stuff like this go on. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't like that I'm reading from the Bible. Oh, he coming with Bible prophecy. In Toronto, we had an incident recently with a young Black woman who has epilepsy and mental health issues ended up falling to her death from the 25th floor in Toronto. Family called for support, now dead. Wow. I wonder if that's is that the same thing I was talking about with the lady that fell from the window, the Black lady? I could have swore that was in America, but I'll dig up more into it. That guy from Pizzagate came from here in Scarborough. What? No, I'm sorry, Scarborough. Wow. Salisbury, North Carolina. Wow. salute to the reporters that got boots on the ground too, that's bringing us this, because they in the mix of the chaos and they rumbling and tussling. So definitely salute to the EMS firefighters, all of them that's, holding it down. You know what? I'm not even going to bother to read the rest of this. I gave you enough that you needed. I believe so. I gave you enough that you needed. Some of this I really want to get into more, but I'll save that for the pay-per-view style free live stream, because a lot of people want to know about the mystic children, so I'm going to give that to you. Let me tell you something, people. I know people like to say I fearmonger, and first off, F you, the ones that be saying that. But I will tell y'all one thing. It's going to get worse. More seals are being broken every day. Day by day. The children are rising up. Your children are rising up. They're going to get that mark. No, I am not talking about the mark of the beast. There's certain stuff you're going to have to get for your children and help your children get in tune and get in line. I'm telling you, y'all don't want to be on the wrong end of this. I promise you don't. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. I'm going to hit y'all with a premiere at 8 p.m. later on tonight. It's bad, people. It's going to get worse. Rise of the mystic children. And it was bound to happen. You already had the rise of the Nagas. You already had them warping entities coming here. You already done had the angelic beings came through with that meteor shower, that full moon and that meteor shower. See, it seems like y'all be forgetting. What the hell do I know? Y'all don't even know how to hit the damn like button or share the video. So, Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. I'm out.